What's up, guys? This is Alex with OCD Recovery. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about an incredibly powerful healing modality and technique that I've seen amazing results in my clients. And I'm confident that anyone who's dealing and suffering with retroactive jealousy, relationship insecurity, anxiety, depression, OCD will benefit tremendously. But before I get into the specific details of this healing modality, I want to offer a little bit of context. You've heard me talk about how important your physical health is and how your physical health influences your mental and emotional health as well. Unfortunately, today in the modern Western world, the vast majority of people are not physically healthy. We have a lot of modern stressors. We don't eat a good diet. We get burnt out. And also our environment is totally toxic with pollution. The majority of people today are dealing with adrenal burnout to some degree, and also deficiencies in the raw materials, the nutrients that you need to function optimally. And when both of those things are happening simultaneously, you're burnt out and you're deficient, this also leads to easier accumulation of toxins in the environment. So heavy metals, chemical toxins, biological toxins, mold, these sorts of things. Traumas, right? Emotional traumas also deplete a person further of the nutrients that they need to function optimally and make toxin accumulation even easier. Your brain is an electromagnetic organ, and the minerals that you get from your diet, from your food, are basically what allows and facilitates the electromagnetic force or currency that allows your brain to function well. So the minerals I'm talking about, that's like magnesium, calcium, sodium, potassium, copper, zinc, manganese, these sorts of things. It will be extremely difficult, if not completely impossible, for your body, your mind, and your emotions to be balanced and working optimally if your chemistry is not supporting you and you don't have the right amounts or balances of minerals. Another way that I like to describe this is that your nutrition status, your diet, the raw materials, the nutrients that you get and that you have in your body, they basically form and create the lens with which you see life through. They're basically building the state of consciousness that you are operating out of. And this is because each of the minerals or elements themselves that you would find on the periodic table all have specific characteristics that make them what they are. And if you have varying amounts of those elements in your body, that's going to influence you, your personality, and your expression of a person. So, for example, copper, right? Copper is very good conductor of electricity. You've probably seen like the experiments with the copper wiring in between the potatoes, right? You can get the light to turn on. Or you've seen electricians working with copper wiring, right? So copper, great at conducting electricity. And you need copper in order to function, right? It's an essential mineral. But you can get imbalances and toxicity of this element. And let's say if you have copper toxicity very extreme in your brain, somebody with copper toxicity in their brain is going to be overly stimulated, very reactive, and emotional because the copper is stimulating the electricity in the person's brain. It's creating more activity in the emotional limbic brain. That experience of being very reactive, anxious, overly emotional is not a good experience, okay? You compare that to zinc. Zinc is a mineral that is very strong and flexible. And it's sort of like the masculine counterpart to the feminine copper. So somebody who has a lot of zinc or has sufficient zinc in their brain and body is going to be more grounded, stoic, thoughtful, less reactive, right? And so you can tell these two minerals by themselves can have a huge impact on your mental and emotional and even physical health. And I could go for a much longer time talking about all of the other elements, the minerals, the metals, but I will spare you on that for now. The point that I want you to take away from this is that your minerals that you can only get from your diet, from the foods that you eat, have a tremendous impact on your experience of life. So the solution that I'm talking about here is mineral balancing. We are going to balance your mineral system in your body, and that will bring greater balance to your entire life in all facets. We go about balancing your mineral system by using a test called a hair tissue mineral analysis. And once we get that information, we change your diet and we give you specific individualized supplementation to support your body's chemistry and help you feel much better. In my experience working as a nutritionist and mineral balancing practitioner, every single client who has come to me with retroactive jealousy, relationship insecurity, anxiety, OCD, every single one of these clients has had indicators of copper toxicity on their hair tests. And that makes sense because copper stimulates the emotional part of the brain. It makes a person more illogical. It makes them more emotional, reactive. They feel insecure. They feel lower self-esteem, right? They have a much more difficult time thinking logically about their situation, about their relationship. Balancing your zinc and your copper is an essential part of having good, balanced mental and emotional well-being. And we haven't even talked about the heavy metal component as well. Mercury is a dastardly heavy metal. This can completely destroy your brain's ability to make and utilize the neurotransmitter GABA. And GABA is the primary neurotransmitter that prevents intrusive thoughts. Okay? You can probably see how that's important here. You can try going to therapy, you can try working with a coach, you can try meditating, you can do all of these things. But until you get the mercury, the copper, these metals, these imbalances fixed and taken care of, you're going to be working against it, right? You're going to be climbing an uphill battle. It's going to be incredibly difficult for you to get over this. Here's a quote from somebody who's regarded as the grandfather of mineral balancing and hair tissue mineral analysis. An elevated tissue copper level is related to exaggerated emotional states. Frequently, there is excessive brain activity, insomnia, intellectual compensation for an inability to properly cope with stress and fears. Dr. Paul Eck. When you get on a mineral balancing program, you'll notice that it feels like your baseline level for how well you are feeling is greatly elevated. And that's because your chemistry is supporting your brain. You're nourishing your body on such a deep level that you can function as your body is supposed to, right? The symptoms that you're experiencing in retroactive jealousy and OCD are signs of dysfunction and imbalance in the body. So when we plug those holes and we address those problems, your problems go away, right? Your symptoms vanish. It's like magic. The two things that I see causing obsessive compulsive disorder are heavy metal toxicity in the brain and emotional traumas. Like I said before, emotional traumas can actually lead to mineral deficiencies, which can eventually lead to more toxic metal accumulation. And because the minerals and the metals, if you don't have enough of the right minerals, are making up the composition of your brain, then you're actually going to be holding on to those traumas in your neurology. They're going to be stored more readily in your brain. You also might have thought that you were able to work through your past childhood traumas, going to therapy, meditating, doing all these things, but you might not have fully gotten through those traumas until you actually get rid of the metals that are lodged inside of your brain. The neurochemistry might have held on to that trauma because the metal that was sort of linked or acquired during that time in your life when you had the trauma, it's holding on to that past experience. And I see this all the time, that somebody is able to fully process a trauma when they detox a metal, and we can see that on a corresponding hair test. Here's another important point. For you to fully process and be free from any old past traumas, you have to have enough physical energy in your body to get through it. So if you go through an experience that's highly traumatic, but you don't have the resources, the energy to fully process through it physically, emotionally, and mentally, your body is going to hold on to that energy of that experience. It's going to store that memory, right, in your cells. And that's a necessary survival mechanism. What we see is when we nourish your body on such a deep level, you might actually go back and re-experience old emotional traumas. This is known as retracing. You re-experience those emotions. Your body's going back to an old experience. And then when you come out of it on the other side, you feel totally different. You feel lighter. You feel happier. You'll feel better self-esteem and more confidence. You feel more grounded because you had the energy that was necessary to get through what you went through before. Amazing, amazing stuff. So this is just scratching the surface on how powerful mineral balancing and hair tissue mineral analysis are towards healing from any condition, mental, physical, or emotional. If you want more information on this and you want to get a hair test, you want to start mineral balancing, reach out to me. You can email me or sign up for a free call. And if you're feeling overwhelmed and tired and you want to give up because you feel like you've tried everything, well, number one, no, you haven't. I guarantee you, you have not tried everything. Number two, that mindset does not help you in any way at achieving what it is that you want. And number three, I guarantee you that you will gain tremendous benefit from doing a mineral balancing protocol, supporting your body's chemistry and healing you on a physical, mental, and emotional level. Right? I can't guarantee that it's going to fix all of your problems, get you over RJ and all this stuff, right? I can't guarantee that. But there is a 100% chance that we can move your needle forward. If you're interested in seeing more proof at how powerful this is, go back and watch my last testimonial video of one of my clients, William, and how much he raves about how mineral balancing changed his life, changed his relationships, and helped him get over retroactive jealousy and OCD. He'd been suffering for almost 20 years with this stuff. All right, and that's it for this video. I hope you got some value from it. If you need more help in overcoming retroactive jealousy and OCD, sign up for a free call in the description box below. Send me an email. I'd love to help you out and get you started on a program. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.